You think the issue is timing or confidence or that you just haven't discovered the right move yet. But what if the real reason you're stuck is because you're waiting for clarity from someone who's deliberately concealing it? If you're here, it's not because you're unaware or inexperienced. It's because you sensed something off, something familiar you couldn't quite label. You want to make a move, but you don't know how. And that hesitation, that quiet moment where you replay conversations over and over, isn't weakness. It's perception without direction. Because here's the uncomfortable truth: most men never hear stated plainly. She might like you a lot, and she's actively trying not to show it. Not because she doesn't feel anything, but because she feels too much. This isn't about mixed signals, it's about hidden ones. Many women are afraid to be direct about their feelings, not in an exaggerated, dramatic sense, but in a controlled, internal way. She's shy. She's afraid you won't feel the same, afraid of embarrassing herself, afraid of opening her heart and realizing she invested in the wrong person. So she does what cautious, emotionally aware people do when something matters deeply. She observes, she waits, she studies. And this is where most men misread everything. They assume silence equals neutrality. They assume hesitation equals lack of interest. They wait for logic to make the call. But logic isn't driving her right now. Emotion is. And when emotion is high, that's the window. Men who wait for logic to act first are betting on chance. Because once logic arrives, emotion has already faded. That's why recognizing the signs matters. Not to manipulate, not to pressure her, but to finally understand what's been happening right in front of you. This video is about how to tell if a girl likes you but is trying to hide it. And as we go through this, pay attention to something important. If any of this feels familiar, if you catch yourself thinking, that explains a lot, it's because you were never lacking confidence. You were lacking context. Let's start with the first sign, and it's one most men completely misunderstand, sometimes for years. Because when a girl likes you but won't admit it, she doesn't always become sweeter. Sometimes she argues with you over meaningless things, and the reason isn't what you expect. Number one, she argues with you about stupid things, and if that sounds confusing, good. That confusion is intentional. Depending on your dynamic, especially if she's a friend, she'll tease you. Not lightly, not flirtatiously, strategically. That alone is already a sign of interest. But because she's trying to hide it, the emotion leaks out sideways. So she targets the smallest, most irrelevant details, things that don't matter and shouldn't matter. Why? Because arguing creates connection without vulnerability. Think about it. Indifference doesn't argue. Disinterest doesn't react. Only emotional investment does. And here's the part most men miss. And once you see it, everything shifts. She's not arguing to push you away. She's arguing to feel close without admitting why. Sometimes she'll even withdraw completely. She'll ghost you, avoid you, disappear without explanation. And you're left wondering, is she unstable? Is she playing games? Did I mess something up? But this isn't randomness. It's inner conflict. This is a woman sending mixed signals because she's conflicted internally. She wants your attention. She wants reassurance. But she doesn't want exposure. So she creates tension instead. Men who don't recognize this respond emotionally. They argue back. They pull away. They assume disrespect. Men who notice patterns pause because they realize something subtle. She's affected. And people who aren't affected don't react to nothing. Now, here's a twist most people never consider. When a woman is hiding interest, she'll often switch dynamics based on distance. In person, she may be guarded, quiet, unreadable. But over text, something changes. That's where the mask slips. Which brings us to the second sign. And this one confuses men even more. She's flirty over text, but not how you expect. And the reason behind it reveals how safe or unsafe she feels with you. Number two, she's flirty over text. And if you've noticed this, you probably told yourself a familiar lie. If she really liked me, she'd act this way in person too. That assumption makes sense. It's also wrong. She can care deeply and still restrain herself face to face, because real-life flirting carries consequences. Eye contact, tone, body language, the possibility of rejection happening instantly. For a woman afraid of getting hurt, that's real risk. Texting feels safer. There's distance, time, control. She can be playful, teasing, warm, even suggestive. And if it goes wrong, she can downplay it, delete it, pretend it meant nothing. That isn't manipulation. That's emotional self-protection. Men who only look at surface behavior miss this. They think consistency equals interest. But people who understand psychology look at where someone allows vulnerability. And here's the part that reframes everything. She's not flirty over text because she's casual about you. She's flirty there because she's serious and scared. The more something matters, the more carefully people manage it, which leads directly into the third sign, one that looks harmless, even polite, but carries weight. Number 3, she apologizes constantly. At first it seems minor, almost courteous. She says sorry for being late, sorry for misunderstandings, sorry for joking too much. Sometimes she apologizes when nothing went wrong at all. And most people miss what this means, because most people struggle to apologize even when they're clearly at fault. But she doesn't. Not with you. That isn't weakness, it's caution. She doesn't want to damage anything, not even unintentionally. So she smooths things over quickly, lowers tension fast, takes responsibility even when it isn't hers. Sometimes she apologizes when she doesn't need to, and you can feel it. You almost want to say, "You didn't do anything wrong." But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. You matter to her. And when someone matters, the connection feels fragile, even when it isn't. People apologize when they feel there's something to lose. That's the key. Which brings us to the fourth sign, one that quietly confirms everything so far. Number 4, she remembers tiny details, and this is where coincidence ends. She notices when you wear something new, a subtle change in your haircut, the way you phrase things, your gestures, habits you don't even realize you have. Most men think this is meaningless. It isn't. People don't remember details randomly. They remember what emotion highlights. And when emotion is involved, memory sharpens, especially with women. Neutral information fades. Emotional information sticks. And for her, everything connected to you carries emotional charge. That's why she remembers. Not because she's observant, but because she's invested. And now the script moves into something less comfortable. Because the next sign isn't flattering. It's confusing. And it's the one that makes most men second-guess themselves. Number 5, she's easily hurt, and you don't know why. This is where doubt sets in. You replay the moment, re-examine your words, look for the mistake, but nothing obvious appears. She seems distant, cold, irritated. And when you ask what's wrong, she says, nothing. That response confuses you because from your perspective, nothing happened. But here's what's actually happening, and this is where most people never connect the dots. She likes you a lot. So beneath the surface, an unspoken expectation starts to form, not a demand, not a conscious rule, just a quiet internal feeling that says, if he cared the way I care, music would know. The problem is she can't say that out loud. And when expectations stay unspoken and unmet, emotion doesn't disappear. It turns inward. That's why small things hurt more than they should. A late reply, a flat tone, a moment where you didn't respond the way she hoped. To you, it's nothing. Music. To her, it feels like distance. And here's the reframe that changes everything. She's not upset about what you did. She's hurt by what she felt. Music. Men are often unaware of what drives women emotionally, not because they don't care, music, but because women communicate meaning through implication long before words. That's why you can't always tell when she's upset, and why, when she is, you don't understand why. But if she seems affected by things that don't logically add up, that sensitivity isn't instability, it's attachment. Music. And now comes a sign that looks small, almost accidental, but almost never is. Number 6, she sends you a text, then says it was a mistake. At first glance, it seems careless, awkward, meaningless. Oops, wrong person. Didn't mean to send that. My bad. But people who understand behavior notice something immediately. Mistakes that open conversations are rarely mistakes. This is one of the safest ways to test emotional ground without committing to it. Because once the message is sent, something important happens. Contact is made. And from there, she can music pivot. She can follow it up. She can joke. She can retreat if she senses disinterest. Music, it gives her an exit. That's the key. She's trying to talk to you without appearing eager, trying to connect without exposing intention, trying to see if you'll pick up the music thread. Men who don't recognize this either ignore it or overanalyze it. Men who stay calm but attentive music see it for what it is, a low-risk reach, not bold, not confident, but intentional. And that tells you something important about her internal state. She wants interaction, music. She just doesn't want to be the one who clearly initiates it, which leads to the next sign. And once you see this one, it's impossible to miss. Number 7, she's always there for you. This is where subtlety fades. She's the first to check on you when you miss something, the one who notices when you're quieter than usual, the one who reaches out when you're dealing with something, even if you never said it directly. And here's what most men underestimate. Music. Concern is emotional labor. It costs attention, energy, music, presence. People don't consistently show up for someone they feel neutral about. When you're struggling, even in small ways, music, she feels it. Your stress becomes hers, not out of obligation, but because attachment works that way. And this is where some men get uncomfortable, because it reveals something real. She cares more about your emotional state than her own convenience. That isn't casual interest. That's emotional alignment. It's difficult to show up like that for someone you don't care about. It's draining, and yet for her, it feels natural, which is why women like this aren't common. If she's into you like this, quietly, music, consistently, without demanding anything back, that's girlfriend energy. Not because she's flawless, but because she's invested. Now awareness becomes leverage because the next sign reveals how she sees you. Number 8, she listens when you speak, not politely, not passively, attentively. Music. She listens the way people do when the information matters. She remembers what you said last time. She tracks details across conversations. Music. And this ties back to something earlier. She remembers the smallest things about you because she's emotionally tuned in. When something shifts, your mood, your music tone, your energy, she notices. That only happens when someone is paying attention without wanting to be seen paying attention. And there's a tiny signal most men overlook. She nods while you talk, not exaggerated, not performative, just enough to reassure you you're being followed. That nod isn't agreement, it's reassurance. She's trying to stay aligned, trying to please, trying to show engagement without exposure. Men who talk just to hear themselves miss this. Men who observe notice the rhythm. And now we move into the sign that bypasses words entirely. Because even when someone hides feelings, the body doesn't. Music. Number 9, her body language. This is where intention leaks. Because even when words are controlled, tone is managed, expressions are filtered, the body reacts faster than the mind can censor. If she's into you but trying to hide music, her body will still tell the story. She plays with her hair, touches her jewelry, music, fidgets with objects, shifts her weight. These aren't random habits. They're music self-soothing behaviors, signs of nervous excitement. And here's something most people don't know. Music. If you want to understand how someone feels, don't watch their face. Watch their feet. If her feet are restless, dangling, music, or pointed toward you even when her torso isn't, that's interest. That's her nervous system reacting to your presence. She's alert, activated, emotionally engaged, not because she wants to be, but because she can't shut it off. And now we reach the final signal, the one that ties everything together. Music. Because when someone likes you but tries to hide it, they don't just react to you. Over time, they start becoming more like you. Number 10, she mirrors you. This is the part people laugh at, brush off, don't take seriously. Music, monkey see, monkey do. But this isn't childish. It's human psychology at its most honest. Children copy what they admire because they, music, want connection. Adults do the same thing, just unconsciously. She adopts your expressions, your tone, the way you phrase things, your gestures, not because she's trying to impress you intentionally, but because she wants to belong in your world. Mimicry is alignment. It's the nervous system saying, I feel safe here. Music. And when a woman is hiding her feelings, this is the one thing she can't fully music control. Because copying you isn't just attraction, it's identification. She doesn't only like you, she's already imagining herself beside you. Music. Now listen closely, because this is where everything converges. With all of this in mind, you shouldn't stay stuck endlessly analyzing whether she likes you or not. The longer you remain in interpretation mode, the more calm awareness turns into insecurity. And she will feel that, not consciously, but instinctively. She's drawn to a man who is secure, music, not aggressive, not needy, not frozen, grounded. So instead of waiting for perfect certainty, take initiative. Ask her out, not as a test, not as a plea, but as music, a statement. And if the answer is no, that isn't failure. That's clarity. You're still you. Your life still moves forward. Your direction still matters. Men who music understand this don't chase signals. They recognize patterns, then act once. And when you truly see these signs, you stop overthinking. You move music differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself with quiet certainty because you're no longer guessing. You understand.